Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you saw from the title, we'll talk about getting up early. Getting up early has been my problem since high school, and I'm sure right now if any of my friends are watching this video, they will be like, you are literally the last person to do a video like this. I am doing this video not because I completely figured it out and I am getting up early every single morning, but because I did a lot of research into it. I watched a lot of videos, I read a lot of academic literature, and I had some improvements. And today I just want to share them with you, and hopefully some of these tips will help you too. Like I said, I don't have it completely under control, but right now I'm waking up around 6:37 in the mornings if I have an alarm, and if I forget to set an alarm, I generally get up at 8ish. So by the time I'm up, I don't go back to sleep and I'm really feeling good. But of course, there are times that I can't wake up and I'm staying in bed until 10, 11 or whatever. The first thing I want to say, which I didn't see in many videos about this problem, is everybody has a different sleep pattern. So for me, I was always looking at my friends who are sleeping 6 hours a night and they were feeling completely fine. And that is so not me. I have to sleep at least 9 hours per night to be a normal functioning person, and you have to figure it out too. There is no way that someone can say, okay, you need to sleep 8 hours or 7 hours or whatever it is. You have to figure it out for your own body, and also you have to find your sleep cycles, how long it takes. For me, it's around 3 hours. For some people, it's 1.5. For some people, it's 2 hours. So whenever I'm trying to get up after, let's say 7 hours, I feel super bad because I'm exactly in the middle of my sleep cycle. What I suggest is getting an app for this. I'm using Sleep Cycle, I think it's called. And I use it for a whole month before I realized my exact sleep cycle was around 3 hours and I have to sleep 9 hours every night. I'm sure you've heard about this app, and if you use it for a month consistently, in the end you'll be able to figure out how much time you need and which amount of sleeping makes you feel better. The app asks you in the morning how do you feel that particular time, and you can always say before going to bed, I drank coffee, this and that. In the morning you can say, I feel bad, I feel terrible, I don't want to live today, and yeah, stuff like that. So it really helps to know how much you have to sleep and when exactly you can have your alarm next morning. The second tip I have is to set your alarm tone as your ringtone. So whenever your alarm rings, you'll feel that somebody is calling you, and if you're expecting an important call, or if you are working and you feel that somebody's calling you and you have to answer that, it makes you go to your phone and be awake for a second. And after you're awake for a second, that's it, just get out of bed. This has worked for me really well, but be careful because this happened to me too. Sometimes you just mistake a phone call for an alarm. So it can go both ways, but if you can manage to keep your mind thinking that this ringtone belongs to a ringtone, like a phone call, and not an alarm, that will help you. Maybe you can ask for someone, a friend, to change your alarm tones for you without your knowledge. Maybe that will help to trick your mind. My third tip is to change your alarm or ringtone once or twice a month. For me, what happens is for the first 10 days, I hear the alarm or the ringtone and I am up. I know that it's the phone. But after 10 days or 15 days, it's like music to me, you know? I'm used to that sound. I'm getting like, I somehow create a tolerance level for that particular sound. So I have to change it every 10, 15 days. And I think that helped me a lot to hear the alarm, because that was one of my major problems. If you don't have this problem, okay, this step is not for you, but if you're having problems with hearing your alarm, try changing it twice or 3 times a month. If you're not struggling to hear your alarm, but you are struggling to get out of bed, there are 2 things you can do. One is to have an alarm clock which asks you to solve a math problem or something like that. I know there are apps like that. I've never used one, but I think it might help you if you get your brain awake by solving some equations or something like that. Then you can actually get up. The second tip, which I tried as well, is to put the phone away from the bed. Then you have to get up and you have to put your feet on the ground, and that helps big time. It did help me big time. Like I said, I'm having problems with hearing the alarm, but whenever I do hear it, I do get up and turn it off, and after that I just don't go back into the bed. The healthiest way to get up is actually to wake up by light. For that you can do 2 things. You can leave your curtains open so you can get some real sunlight in the morning. Unfortunately, that's not what we can do here. We have to get up really early and the sun is not up yet. So what we have is this little guy. I hope you can see it there, but I will put a picture here as well. This is an alarm clock which gives daylight instead of a sound. It also has a sound option, but the best thing about it is just it brightens up the whole room and your body feels like it's morning. So the internal clock, the body clock says, okay, you need to get up now. Like I said, I'm a very heavy sleeper. I went to hospitals and stuff like that. I don't really get up with this light, but my fiance does, and he really thinks that it's a great option to have, and I wanted to give that suggestion to you. If you're not as bad as me and if you really get up, but you want to get up a little bit happier, it's always better to get up with light instead of some stressful sound or alarm or like, you know, it's always better to get up with a light. While we're talking about lights, another tool that I've been loving here is this little daylight lamp that we use. So the problem here, I moved to Switzerland from Istanbul, and there were plenty of sun. But after I moved here, and since I had to wake up really early, and by early I mean 5, after some time I realized that I wasn't really feeling happy. I was feeling really depressed, really low in energy, and I did some research as always, and I figured that for the people who move from a more sunny country to somewhere like here, it actually affects your body because you're not getting enough sunlight. And what this machine does is to mimic that sunlight that you would normally get. If there is no natural sunlight out there, this can save your life. So what we do is every morning when we're having our breakfast, we put it in our faces for like 15 minutes, and I generally have a tank top so I can get the most exposure, and it literally changes everything. It boosts your energy level and your internal clock is immediately reset. Then your body really knows that it's morning time. You have to get up and you have to get going. I suggest this for people who are getting up super early and having problems with internal clock, and also for the people who are moving to, like I said, to a less sunny country. I think it will help a lot. Getting up early is a matter of habit. You have to do it at least 20-30 times in a row to get your body used to it. So it's not like for 3 days you wake up and it's fine, it's gonna be like that forever. The body goes back to its own rhythm, its own habits immediately. So what I would suggest, if you're really committed to this, to getting up earlier, just do it for at least 20 days. No matter what, you're out of that bed. Think about like you are having a flight every morning at 8 a.m. and you have to be at the airport because it's $1,000 flight or something like that. But you have to do it consecutively for at least 20-30 days, and then believe me, your body will tell you, hey, I'm used to this now, I will wake up at that time. Talking about flights, I realized that I've never missed a flight by oversleeping. I think it only happened once, but it was mostly because we were stuck in a traffic jam. Anyway, if you know that you have something extremely important to do in the morning, like catching a flight, like going to a meeting that will change your whole business or something like that, you generally don't oversleep. I realized that with myself, and I noticed that, okay, if I put enough importance to my next day, I actually get up easy. So what I started to do is to see every single day as important as the day I have a flight or the day I have an important meeting. And after I started doing that, like tomorrow I have to do this, it's my priority, it will change my future, it will impact my life greatly and everything like that, it really helps me to get up in the morning. A side tip here is I use my planner to do this. Every night before I go to bed, first I write everything I need to do the next day, which actually gives me a clear mind to sleep, because normally when I put my head to bed, I'm like always thinking about what to do next, about this project, that project, blah blah blah. So writing them down actually really clears your mind, and also when you look at the next day's schedule, you're feeling motivated and you find reasons, actual reasons to get up early. So these were my tips about getting up early. I hope you find something interesting or helpful in this video. Next week I will try to film my morning routine. If you don't want to miss that out, you can subscribe to this channel, and if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up and share this with the friends that you think might really benefit from this content. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.